welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is how to score 8.5 above CGPA. Before getting into the topic, I want to say one thing. As this video is making because of students, so there are many North Indians and Tamilians also who are studying in Satyabama University, so it would be easy for them if I do this video in English. So for only that reason I'm making this video in English. And yeah, before doing this video I want to say one thing, because if I am eligible, when I will be eligible to say this topic only if I score 8.5 above CGPA. So I'm saying now my overall CGPA is 8.6. so I'll say you some tips which I followed, so it would be helpful for you to score good CGPA. And you may ask me, sister, 8.5 above is a little bit too much. Is it enough to score 7.5 above or 8 above? It's totally fine, and 7.5 above and 8 above is a very good mark, I'm saying. But why I'm saying 8.5 above? Because there are two reasons for that. First thing is, there are some companies who are asking for above 8.5 CGPA. So to be eligible for that companies, to sit into a placement for that companies, you need to get good CGPA. That is one reason. And the other reason is, I have seen practically. Actually, I thought of higher studies, so I applied for an Australian university. I mean, an university in Australia. I am not having Australia as an option, but I just applied, and because of my CGPA, they gave me 9 lakhs of scholarship for that university. I'll say that University of New South Wales. I got an admission there. So I'm saying, if you have good CGPA, you have some benefits for higher education also. So better maintain your CGPA. So Satyabama students, college follows a Bloom's taxonomy of exam pattern. So if you want to know what is meant by Bloom's taxonomy, watch till the end, because at the end I'll be saying what it is. And so it is very important for you to know what is that. And now coming to the topic, I'll tell you 3 main things which I followed. First thing is, if you do hard work or not, that is a separate thing. But your preparation should be very smart. You should do smart work, because now I'll tell you an example. When I am studying in first year, I'm a person who covers all the topics in a chapter, because I'm scared if the important questions will not come in exam, then what happens to my marks? So I used to cover all the topics, and I lack perfection in the topics which are very important. So that is the main drawback. For that reason I got 8.2, 8.3 in my first 1 to 3 semesters. So I have realized this thing, and what I have changed my pattern of studying, because now there are some important questions, so finish that important questions with perfection. I'm not saying that don't cover all the topics and read only important questions, but first be perfect in the important topics, and then for 2 marks or for other topics, for other questions, you should cover all the topics. So prepare with perfection. That is the main thing I want to say. When I changed my pattern, I have seen change in my CGPA. I'll tell you last 4 CGPAs: 8.8, 8.9, 9 and 9.04. These are my last 4 semesters. See, now you could see the difference, right? I changed my pattern. So first I'll complete my important questions, and then I'll think of the other topics. So don't do this mistake which I have done in my first 2 years. So I think it will be helpful. And the second thing is paper presentation. Your paper presentation should be very neat. In BTech, the 2 things you have to follow is diagrams with correct labeling. Some people will be there who draws diagram for which is irrelevant to the question. So when you are drawing a diagram, see which is relevant to the question and label it correctly and neatly. Margins must. And yeah, please don't write stories. If you write stories, faculty may read outside. I mean, how should I say, they will read outside in the class. It will be a bit shameful for you. So please don't write any kind of stories. And the length of the answer also should be good. If you are attempting for 12 marks or 16 marks questions, then it should be around minimum 4 to 5 pages. I mean minimum 4, maximum 5 or 6. So don't write more and don't write very less. Maintain that thing like 4 to 5 pages. It is must. So if you are writing 4 to 5 pages for each question, the faculty may think, sometimes they may not read, but they think that okay, she wrote 4 to 5 pages, it means she has some basic knowledge on that. So you may get good marks through that. So these are some small tips to follow. And one more thing is good sleep. My friend asked me, Ritu, you will not study so much of time. I mean, you will be sleeping more. Then how you will get good marks? She asked me. I told, చెప్తాం కదా ఎప్పుడు ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వనది కాదు, ఎగ్జామ్లో ఎలా రాసామన్నది ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో I may prepare less hours of time, but that time what I'm preparing I'll do with perfection 100%. So the number of hours you are studying is not important. The essence, how you study, is important thing, and how you present in the examination. With your paper presentation only you will be getting good marks. That gives, when you see your paper with no much scribbling and good handwriting, definitely I believe that you will get good marks, because by seeing your paper it will be like very good. You will be getting very good impression. So you may get good marks if you present it properly. And yeah, these are the 3 main tips. And I said no, good sleep is also important, and good food during exams. I avoid non-veg during exams. I don't know why, but my 10th class ma'am told me to avoid, and from that time onwards sometimes I avoid during exams non-veg, because it reduces the work function of brain. I believe that, but somehow I try to manage not eating non-veg during exams. And yeah, these are the 3 tips. So I think you will follow these. So by following this, definitely I'm saying you will be getting good marks. Satyabama students, college follows Bloom's taxonomy of exam pattern. So be aware what is meant by Bloom's taxonomy. It is nothing but it covers the learning objectives of cognitive, affective and sensory domains. It's somewhat technical, right? So I will explain that clearly in mainly 3 points, that is understanding and remembering. So when you are preparing for exams, you will be getting some PDFs, right? So that PDFs you prepare, that's totally fine, but writing of running notes during class hours is must, because faculty will teach you some questions which are important, and they'll think that if you write the way how they told you and how you understand, then definitely you will score some good marks. So please don't avoid writing running notes. Maybe I'm not saying about 3rd and 4th years, that story is somewhat different, but during 1st and 2nd years definitely please write running notes. And the next one is evaluate and create. So now when you're writing semester or mid exams, there are different questions, like some are theory questions, some are diagrammatic questions, some related to algorithms and coding, some are problems. So when they may ask you to write some examples, so for that you need to create. When you will be creating, only if you are strong in concept, then you could create examples. Or if they may ask you some questions which they teach during class hours, that you could apply and you could do it well. So please be strong in the concept before going for the exam. And the third one is analyzing and applying. So now there are problems like knapsack problem, different algorithms and sorting techniques. Mostly you'll see these things in CSE. So they'll twist the concept. How they will twist means, even I faced this dilemma. I know the answer perfectly. If I write, I'll get full marks, but I don't know whether this question is related to for that particular topic or not. So think twice before you attempting a question. You may write answer perfectly, but if the question is not related to the answer, then you'll not get marks, you'll get 0. So while you're writing, think twice and check. You may take 2 minutes or 3 minutes of time to read the question completely and understand it. This is the main concept of Bloom's taxonomy. It may confuse you, but please don't confuse. And sometimes you may be right, you may be wrong. Mostly I got right, but sometimes there are situations where I get the whole answer wrong because of this. So I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Follow these things and be careful with this. Now, I think you are writing online examinations. It may be different, but once you come to college, they follow this pattern. So, to make you aware of these things, I'm making this video. And there are students asking me to make lifestyle of a student in Satyabama University as a hostler and a day scholar. So not next video, but very soon I'm going to do that video also, like advantages and disadvantages of hostler and day scholar. So stay tuned, and if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel.